Run With It. I'm Cody J. This is my man Royce. And we decided to start this podcast to give everyone out there that loves Columbus Cardinal athletics, whether it's high school, junior high, youth leagues, and everything in between, a little more in-depth perspective of what we get to see. From me being behind the scenes, taking the pictures, the videos, and being there, and Royce's expertise of actually playing the sport. I know I may look like an athlete, but Royce is actually the athlete in this group.
So yeah, like Cody was saying, man, he's like more behind the scenes, but he still got a lot of knowledge of what's going on. Me, obviously, I played the sports, played a few sports and this and that, but I'm able to help kids and train them and do stuff like that as well. Like I'm really involved with youth sports, doing stuff like that. So yeah, man, just bring you all the coverage we got, and hope y'all like it and run with it. Obviously, that's what we got the podcast called. But hey, we just try to give everybody a little something, a little extra excitement, something to think about.
We're going to start this first podcast off with Lady Cardinal volleyball. We're going to get straight to the top with the Lady Cards varsity volleyball team. The last 2 years in a row, they've made the state semifinals. No Lady Cards volleyball team has ever made it to back-to-back state tournaments, which is an impressive feat on its own.
It is.
They're led by Coach Johns. Coach Johns has been with Columbus, I believe, for 9 years, and over those 9 years, she's 267 and 98 on her record. She's won 20 playoff series, and out of her tenure here, she's only missed the playoff once. And that gets us kind of to the main core group of girls that are seniors this year. There's 3 of them that actually played varsity as freshmen, and that's kind of what started this little hot run that we're on. Royce can get a little more into it about before that group of girls. We're in high school. We actually missed the playoff the year before they were freshmen.
2019 they didn't even make the playoffs. And so over the last 3 years combined, these girls won 12 playoff games. That's pretty good. Damn good at that. So we got a really good group of seniors, group of team coming back. So I'm excited to see, what's in store for these girls this year.
Make that third state title run.
Definitely.
Get one this year. And in the last 2 years, like we said, went to the state semis. Those 3 young ladies that we're talking about that are part of that core group, no team wins on their own. Everybody has to play a factor in getting that far when you do get to state. No one does it alone. But these 3 girls, like I said, have been on varsity since their freshman year. It's Ember Mandola, Sage Thomas, and Allie Tribe. Allie Tribe actually has committed to play volleyball for the University of Texas at San Antonio. So kudos to her. Allie actually last year broke, which this is a very hard record to find because volleyball in the past was not done on rally scoring like it is now. So stats they're not the same as they used to be just because of the way the game is played. But to our knowledge, last year, Tribe did surpass Haley Wisnowski as having the most kills in a single season. Which, speaking of Wisnowski, great high school player, great college player, and now she's on the staff with Johns. So
good mentor for her.
Yeah.
Just seeing that, and then this is a good achievement for her to see. Hey, you've done it, so I can do it. So that's good for them to have Wisnowski on their staff, and like I said, man, they need that aura around them. So that's good.
Absolutely. The second of those 3, Sage Thomas, speaking of records, last year looks like she set the single season assist record, and to our knowledge from the stats that we can get, looks like she is the career leader in assists for the Lady Cards, which is another great stat to have there, and just shows the greatness of this trio. And again, it's not only them that's making this team win; it's everybody. And I believe that the reason that this team wins is not because of their athletic ability or stats or records they set. It's their attitude and the way that they treat their other teammates.
Yeah. Last year, when I was after school working, Coach Johns asked me, "Hey, would you like to come speak to the girls last year's team?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say to the girls?" So I came in and I asked them a question. When I was in school, my head coach, my trainer at the time, he asked me, "Hey, what's your why?" I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean my why? What is the reason why you play this sport? What is the reason why you do the things that you do?" So I asked those girls this group last year, I asked them, and they looked at me the same way I looked at my coach, looked confused, and I broke it down to them. It can be a family member, or just a goal that you want to do as a team or individual goal. Just something that makes them all have something in common, which helped them reach that end goal. And those girls bought into that and kind of figured out the why and almost made it to the big game, or pretty close. So it's just for that. I can see how strong they are. So like I said, I'm super excited to see how far they go this year, and that's part of why we play.
And another thing with this team, especially with Coach Johns at the helm, she's very big in team building and getting the girls together, and that's why they have such a great core, and they all have such great attitudes with each other. I mean, if you go watch a game, you would think that all of those girls, are superstars on the court. Some of them might not play one set, but they're on the bench cheering every time we get a spike, a kill, an ace. They love their teammates,
right.
And that's one reason why the program's successful. You can't win if no one likes each other. It just will never happen. It doesn't matter the talent you have or the players you have. It will never happen if there's not that core love for one another. And this volleyball team absolutely has that.
No, they do.
So speaking on that, the Lady Cards, besides those three, they do have two more remaining seniors, which is Claire Klausmeyer, who is big for the Lady Cards. She plays middle, tons of blocks, and really, really helps the Lady Cards on defense and getting that kill. And the other senior for the Lady Cards this year is Ella Schneider. She gets some great playing time too. She's an outside/middle as well. And she plays a key role in the Lady Cards' development and getting better this year.
Right.
A few players that I see kind of to look out for this year that really can help the Lady Cards maybe take it to that next level of, not just getting to the state tournament, but winning the state tournament is Gracie Schobel. Gracie Schobel is a sophomore for the Lady Cards this year, and she's put in a lot of work this summer playing with Techstar. And traveling all over, playing high AAU tournaments.
Right.
Went to Florida, played one, and you can really tell her development from last year to this year. Not only in power, but just in her self confidence. I mean, you
gotta have self confidence.
Absolutely.
Especially to have it as a sophomore, man. That's big. Just having just in general, but when you develop that mentality and that self confidence early, man, you turn into a hell of an athlete, so that's good. Kudos, Gracie.
But you can speak to this. I mean, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not confident in yourself,
you're not confident, you're going to be out there just looking like a deer in headlights.
I mean, playing football in college, how many athletes did you see that had all the talent in the world but just didn't have it in themselves?
I've seen tons flopped, and
it's just crazy.
And stuff like that, sports is a mind thing over, physical ability. I say 95% of the time because, any level, no matter what you're playing, if you're not mentally fit or anything like that, when a play goes bad and you just throw a temper tantrum or you just you're just out of it.
Yeah, you'll never see that.
You'll never really see it.
You'll never see that with the Lady Cards volleyball. They're always positive, no matter what's going on the court. I mean, they could be up 25-0 or they could be down 0-25, and it looks like they're in the same mood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what winning teams have, good attitudes.
And that's why they've been winning. So
absolutely
that's good for them.
Lady Cards started off this year. Last year they lost 4 games total. One was in the state semis, one was the East Bernardino tournament, one to St. Joe's in a tournament, and the second one to St. Joe's in the regular season. And the Lady Cards avenged that loss, the 2 losses they had last year to St. Joe's here this week on Tuesday, and they beat them in straight sets, which that was a great sight to see because St. Joe's brought back a majority of all their players from last year.
Yeah.
So last year you lose 2 games to them, they bring back pretty much the same team, and all of a sudden you win in straight sets. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The Lady Cards also won the Columbus Varsity Classic tournament this year. They also took a road trip to Pflugerville this year, and they played in a very, very large 5-6A tournament where they were one of only 3 3A teams in the whole tournament. They came away 5-4 in that tournament, but all the competition was, again, against 5 and 6A schools, and they held tough. Most of the matches that were lost were in 3 sets in a tournament, 2 out of 3. So they were there, to the bitter end, even against 5 and 6A schools.
Yeah. But then again, that speaks on how strong these girls are. No matter who they play against, 4A, 5A, 6A, don't matter. They're gonna compete. They're gonna compete no matter what, and I like doing that. You go play against some big dogs who think they can beat you, and then next thing you know, you beat them. And it's a good soccer, but at the same time, it's good experience for them. So that's what makes us helps get to that big stage every year, So. I'm good.
And besides Gracie on the starting 6 this year, besides Gracie, it's Allie Tribe, Sage Thomas, Ember Mandola, Gracie Schobel. You have Kaylee Niesner, and you have Ashlyn Carter and Sophia Walters that are in the mix of starting a majority of the games. I think Coach Johns has a good lineup set right there. We have a few players on the bench, of course, that contribute a lot, especially in the defensive and serving category. I've been to a good amount of games this year. Sydney Shepard looked really good serving the ball in the tournaments that I went to and in the games. So Coach Johns, it's not like she doesn't have a bench where she can rely on somebody if something happens to somebody, is sick, injury, any God forbid any of that happens. But if it does, it's not like there's no one on the bench that takes someone's spot. We have backups.
We deep.
The Lady Cards recently were ranked number 3 in the state on Texas Volleyball Insiders, and then on the Texas Women's Coaches Poll, they were ranked 9th.
The polls are different. Everybody knows that. One poll is different every week. You win a game, be number 1, and then you lose a game, drop number 5, and then you win another game, number 3. It's all that stuff don't matter.
Most polls are, they're human based. They're, not saying that they're right nor wrong, but some people have biases towards certain teams, et cetera, et cetera. Just to give you an example, on the Texas Volleyball Insiders poll, we are number 3. Bushland and Gunner, which are 2 of the teams that have won the state title the last few years. Those teams are 1 and 2 currently. Well, on the Texas Women's Coaches Poll, they're, I believe, 3 and 14. So you can see there's big discrepancies in some polls, but that's just the way it is. The Lady Cards are currently playing in a tournament in the Fulshire, Richmond area. They'll be wrapping that up this Saturday, and we'll have more details on that next week. And speaking of the Lady Cards' depth on the volleyball team this year, they're returning 10 varsity players from last year. And those 10 are Taylor Morrow, Sage Thomas, Kaylee Niesner, Allie Tribe, Ember Mandola, Sophia Walters, Gracie Schobel, Claire Klausmeyer, and then the ones that are on the varsity for the first time are Ellie Brown, which she got moved up for playoffs last year, Ashlyn Carter, Mia Post, same with her, Sydney Shepard, and Ella Schneider. As you can tell, a deep roster. Tons of returning players, not only players, but majority of the starters. And the crazy thing is as deep as this team is, if a majority of these girls that you may not get to see play a ton, they would start or be stars on a lot of teams in our district and area.
Definitely.
Another player I do see making a big difference for the Lady Cards this year is junior Taylor Morrow. Taylor Morrow, of course, has been playing a bunch of high-level volleyball over the summer, select with Techstar. She's just a great athlete. She's a track star. I know you've been around her with helping out with track a lot. I believe long jump.
Long jump. I want to say that's more like Coach Taylor. He does that, but anything sprinting, I do with this. I help out with the sprinting a little bit, but.
And then, like I said, Taylor's plays softball as well. Multi-sport athlete.
Yeah.
And a lot of people probably don't know about her is before she got in high school and she was a little bit younger, she had to make a tough decision whether or not she was going to keep playing sports she loved, or to my knowledge, her dad or mom could correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I believe she was invited to the Bella Crowley camp or school where she could try to be a gymnast at the next level. Like she was that good. So with all that said, I believe that Taylor's going to make a big impact this year on our Lady Cards team.
A lot of versatility and depth. So
Absolutely.
That's good to have. With that being said, it's kind of hard doing predictions for volleyball. So many games and it's just hard in general, but for my prediction, I do see us winning another district championship for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, 3rd year in a row.
And, making it to that state game and actually sealing it off and getting it this year. We've been so close for the past 2 years. Past 2-3 years?
Well, yeah, we've been to state the last 2 years. I believe in total, we've been to state 5 years total.
5 years, okay.
5 years total, the last 2 years and 3 previous. And in those 5 runs that we had in the semifinal game, Lady Cards have actually only won 1 set. Not a game, one set. So, it's 3 out of 5 when you're there. So out of those, we've only won 1 set. And I agree with Royce. I see us winning district again. I see us making a deep run, and I really see us getting over that hump this year. It's just something about this team this year, the maturity from the girls that are now seniors and juniors, and the younger talent that we now have on the team. as much as they love each other, they love playing for each other, they love rooting for each other. To me, it's just a little something different this year, and I think they had that experience. I mean, you can tell from experience of what it's like.
After a while, for them, like especially for these girls, like I think enough is enough. They want it, but how bad do you want it? You've seen it, you get glimpses of it for the past few years. Go get it. It's easier said than done. I understand that, but when you have a team that comes together, everybody's on the same page from top to bottom, no matter what position you play, senior, freshman, whatever. If you believe it, hey, it'll work in the end. But I get it. It's hard. It's hard to get in state in any sport. It's hard to even just win. So, but not, honestly, like I said, I'm sticking with my prediction. I feel good about these girls, and hell, let's go get it.
I think experience is a big key. I mean, for example, you're a track star.
Yeah.
You went to state 4 years in a row in high school.
Yeah.
First 3 years, did you win it?
Nope.
But what did that fourth year? What did you have that made you win that?
Experience. And that's the first thing I said when I got there. A guy interviewed me right after. He was like, "Man, what led you to win?"
Yeah.
I said, "Man, I've been here the past 3 years, but it was the experience. Of course, I'm racing different guys every year, but I'm running the same race.
You nervous no more?
No, I'm running the same race. I don't have the nerves no more. It was me and the time, the clock. That's all I worried about. I don't care about a guy running next to me. I've been doing that all my life, and that's what track meets for. It's like so pretty much like that. Like it's just experience goes a long way. Like I said, it was tough. I even got beat that state. I lost in the 200, but I lost by a step. But I never got beat like that.
But you still won one.
But I still won one.
That's one more than me.
Yeah. Oh, honey.
That's why it's called run with it. Not because of me.
He ain't running.
Because I run my mouth. That's about it. I'll say
Do that. He does that.
I'll say that.
For sure does that.
So since we got that with volleyball, we're going to move into football. So we're going to have a bunch of information about what's coming up this year in football, what to look for, what we're expecting, and game one. We're filming this the night before the game, but when you see it, today's game day. First game of the varsity season. Big day. We love game day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you start off with this, with football. I know you got a ton of info and, stuff you want to go over for, this season, what we've done in the past, and, kind of what's building up into this year.
Man, this year, football, I'm really excited. And when I say I'm really excited, man, it's like I said, just like for volleyball, enough is enough. We got a little bit of experience coming back. And the guys who experienced the runs that we had the past few years, they know what it takes. Last year, obviously, against Franklin was a heartbreaker. Man, they just had a few more seconds on the clock. Another drive.
Or a few less.
A few less, yeah. But no, really, honestly, like, you give us one more drive.
Oh, we scored on
with
them.
the weapons we had.
We scored on them.
The defense, man, I'm telling you, we punched that ticket. But things happen. That's the game. That's why we play. Move on. Come back next year. See if you can do it again. And
it's next year.
I feel really good about the group that I've seen so far in these scrimmages. And with scrimmages, you can't really see a lot. Coaches are not going to run certain plays that they're going to run in the actual game.
I agree.
And defenses are not going to run stuff to scheme against another team.
Matt ain't going to show nothing. Not a scrimmage. No, he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
But you see a little bit with the talent that we have. And from what I've noticed, the talent that we have, man, we got a lot of kids that's going to shock a lot of people this year.
But you can have all the talent in the world. Put it this way. Columbus has always had, in years past, a decent amount of talent.
Right.
But before Matt took over, and again, it's not all Matt doing the work.
No,
the kids are doing the work too, but Matt's, in my opinion, leading them that way between the discipline he sets in the program, what he expects of them. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done, is what did you do for me today.
Yeah. And that discipline thing that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
When I was coming up in high school, we didn't have discipline. We had all the talent. We didn't have no discipline at all. We had guys that didn't want to come to practice. Guys who felt like they didn't need to practice. We had everybody not want to play their own position. They want to play somebody else's position. No. And just the guidance, we didn't have that. But what I've seen, like I said, I'm a spectator. Just like you, Cody, I'm watching from the outside. I see the kids, the way they carry themselves, the way they respect the coaches, the way they handle themselves on and off the field. The discipline is through the roof.
Yeah. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes. And I think that is what's helping us even more
Absolutely.
when it comes to winning games and, advancing far in these playoffs. and stuff like that. So
Yeah, because you don't see us out there getting crazy, unsportsmanlike.
No.
People, I mean, we get people punch, hit, trip, kick us, and we don't do nothing. You know why? Because we're disciplined.
Yeah.
That's what wins games. Speaking of that, we were going over some stuff. Matt became the athletic director and head football coach back in 2019, and we are kind of just going over some stuff, me and Royce, yesterday. So the year before Matt took over, to 1999. 1999 was the first year we didn't make the football playoffs in the 90s until 2018. So over that 20-year period, Columbus won 2 playoff games.
And I was a part of them 2 playoff.
Here we go. He didn't do
hey,
nothing.
After that, we ain't.
He didn't do it.
We ain't
He
winning
get
that
lunch for
game.
everybody.
But hey, at least I can say
He get
I was
lunch for
a part of
everybody.
Two playoff.
He getting lunch for everybody.
Oh man.
So speaking of that, so since Matt's 4 years, as he's been here so far, this is his 5th. They have won 12 football playoff games. 12 football playoff games in 4 years.
Yeah.
20 years 2.
Whew.
That speaks to the difference you were just talking about.
Man, that's yeah.
You know, that's a massive difference. We won district twice. We have not had less than 10 wins since Matt took over. I mean, there's just so many great things to say. Besides, of course, the other great coaches that we have on staff.
Yes.
Got a couple new ones this year. We'll go to them in a little more detail in one of our next episodes. We did have a good amount graduate this year off that the great team last year that lost to Franklin there.
Ooh, man.
But we do have a great amount coming back that have tons of talent. Of course, Adam Schobel is still our quarterback. He's in his junior year. Look forward to many big things this year from that young man who has actually verbally committed, right, to Baylor, University of Baylor. So big D1 commit, following in his family's footsteps. Who else are you looking forward to seeing this year, Royce?
Man, I'm looking forward to see, our one running back, Tyron Whitehead. Now he's the man. He's the guy in the backfield. Smaller back, but hey.
Speed kills.
Speed kills.
You should know that, right?
Yeah, a little bit, man.
I used to have it.
But no, seriously, like he's when it's time for you, man, to answer the call and be that guy, man. I think you gotta answer the bell. Who cares if you're smaller back?
No, I don't.
You want the fastest
guys. If
they
can't catch you, if they can't touch you, what are they gonna do?
Can't do nothing. You want the fast guy in the state of Texas, man. So you have to believe that. Rally that team around you, the offensive line, the receivers. You got the quarterback that you need. What else can you ask for? The coaching staff. And I'm looking to see him as a senior lead that group. This year. Another one is one of the new receivers we have, Jackson Hancock.
Absolutely.
Man.
Great hands. Smooth.
I watched a lot of guys at the receiver position, even when I was in school and just working out with guys, training, doing stuff like that, man. He knows the route tree. He's smooth. He's not fast. He's so quick, though. He runs that route so quick where he can separate.
Yeah, he'll get you, instead of getting you 10 yards, he'll come back to 8 and then get you 15, 20.
He creates a lot of separation.
Yes.
Between him and the defender and stuff like that.
That's a massive help after losing Colton Pittsford,
Jordan Woods, man, last year, so, and then Christian Rayner.
Yeah.
Christian Rayner's another one.
I think he's going to step up big. He caught that big touchdown against Franklin last year in the playoffs.
Yes.
I think it's his time to shine too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's speedy, he's quick, he's nimble, he can run routes, he can get past people.
Definitely, man.
He's a smart player.
Yeah, no, definitely. From what I'm seeing, we have all utility players, guys who can play multiple positions, and just guys that can just go. So offensively, man, I think we're scoring some points. We're going to score a lot of points. On the defensive side, I'm looking forward to see the freshmen that are on there. We got a few freshmen that are on there.
We got 2, 3?
We got 3.
3 freshmen starting on defense?
Starting on defense. Mm-hmm. But hey, they're ball players. They're ready to play. It don't matter. It don't matter at all who they're playing against. I've seen them all play, and obviously, that first game they're gonna get popped. But hey,
nerves will be there.
But after that, they'll adjust. That's why you play. If you play the sport, you adjust to it. The speed of the game is a little faster, but you adjust to the speed of the game. And like I said, I'm looking forward to those freshmen back there too, along with the returning stars that we have on the defensive side too. So I think the defense, from what I've seen, they fly around, they get to the ball, and hey, party at the quarterback, man.
And speaking of Schobels and Pittsford's, we lost a couple of them on defense last year with Tommy and Colton, playing safety. but we still got
That John Schobel.
Big John Schobel.
And John is that he's gonna be that anchor, right there.
Oh, yeah.
That middle linebacker position.
He sees it, he hits it.
He can be a lot of tackles. And we still got a pitch for left. Got Camden.
There we go.
He's another guy who's shifty, who can get in open space and catch the ball and make some plays.
On defense and offense.
Defense and offense. Devin Shorter, Dagan Stevens, man, the list goes on. We got guys who are very versatile. And who can.
We got Trap coming back on offense.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm excited for football too as well, because the talent has been through the roof, and the talent matches with the discipline.
And when you build a program and you base it off of discipline, and you build that structure off of that, those older guys teach those younger guys, hey, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
If anyone gets out of line, no one ever oversteps their boundary. They let them know, hey, that's not what we do here. This is how we play.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
Speaking of no one, oversteps their boundaries. I mean, the team is disciplined from top to bottom. It doesn't matter if you're a star and you're getting all the accolades, or if you're a role player. I mean, everyone holds everyone accountable, and of course that starts at the top with leadership from Matt, but it doesn't only come from Matt. Matt surrounded himself with great coaches, from top to bottom, every position, junior high, high school, everything in between. It's just simple things like bringing Coach Johnson back.
Yeah, I think bringing Coach Johnson back, that brought that culture, the old school culture, and I think that's what Matt wanted to bring back. Personally, I think he wanted to bring up that old school culture, when he was coming through and playing and stuff.
Absolutely.
And too, just being dogs again, but doing it the right way. Be disciplined every play. Don't get unnecessary penalties, stuff like that. Every now and then, tempers might flare and stuff. That's part of the game. But a controlled team, one-minded team, those are the ones. Like you said, discipline.
But even that in the last 4 years, I remember right before Matt took over, there was tons of games where there was plenty of unsportsmanlike and just unnecessary penalties to, one year into Matt's tenure as athletic director, and it's like 99% of that went away.
Yeah. Because it's not at the end of the day, it's not the identity of the team. And they understand stuff like that's going to happen. We're going to get bad calls. We're going to feel like, hey, the refs is against us.
It happens.
That's in sports.
Competition.
Competition. So
you get your feelings.
You get your team reset. Like, hey, no, get your mindset, refocus, do the next play. Let's go. Go get the ball. Throw the ball, catch the ball, go get a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant just reiteration of just reminding them, like, hey, guys, we're okay. We good. No matter how bad the situation may seem, we good. Let's go. We're here for a reason. And like I said, we're bringing Coach Johnson back.
It's that respect factor.
Respect factor, man.
I mean, everyone talks about Coach Johnson. I don't care who you are, how old you are, whatever. Almost everybody that's around here had Coach Johnson in one capacity or another, either as a teacher or as a coach. Highly respected, of course, in the community. As much as everyone likes to talk about offense. I mean, when you watch pro football, you watch college football, you watch Pee-wee football, it really doesn't matter. It's all about touchdowns, scoring, running, you name it. But when you watch the great teams, it's 99% of the time it's the defense that did something to stop the other offense from doing something. Yeah. And I believe on our team this year, I know we lost a decent amount of starters last year, especially in the secondary, a few other key positions. But we do have two absolute studs, in my opinion, on the defensive side in Dagan Stevens and John Schobel. I truly think that they can play at the next level if they decide to. I think they have that talent and that ability. Me, myself, I turned down multiple D1 offers, as many people know, in football. You remember that?
Yeah, I didn't.
You weren't there?
I definitely wasn't.
Well, we didn't have signing days back then, so it's a little different than with you. A little different. But in all seriousness, you were a D1 college football player.
Yeah.
What do you think when you see some of the talent that we have, not just with Adam, that has, of course, the commitment to Baylor, but on some of these other guys, that can play at that next level?
Man, it's just they got a drive about them. And like I said, man, anybody who's played college sports or college football, it's a different world, obviously. It's more of a business. High school's not really a business.
True.
It's about, you're learning. It's the fundamentals.
You're with your friends, you're having a good time,
fun,
loving your brothers.
But every now and then you get a few kids who treat it like it's a business in high school. Rarely do you do. But the ones who do, they're already ready. That's how you know the college ready. Like, oh man, I'm treating it like it's a business now. You know, so when they get there as a freshman,
doing their workouts in the summer, doing their workouts when they're off,
you know,
being prepared.
They get the respect from the seniors early, the upperclassmen. You know, I've been around like people that when I came in my class, like freshmen who play early, not because of the talent, just because they earned the respect from the upperclassmen early. They were on workouts all the time, always early. You know, worked hard,
stay late,
and I see that in a lot, not just with John and Dagan, but I see it in a lot of our kids. You know, but with them too, they make that defense go. They push it. You know, Devin Woods is another one. You know, who I feel like can definitely play at the next level. They got a non-stop motor about them. So I mean, it's
literally a snowball effect. Once a couple of the kids see, you know, some of the best players doing these certain things and not taking any days off, not taking any breaks, it's like, I'm not at your level and you're still doing this? You don't have to. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And then, it's, again, like a snowball effect. Like you went up there more than I do for summer workouts and stuff and seeing the kids. I mean, the amount of participation in lifting weights and being prepared and, you know, the list goes on, has dramatically increased from 4 or 5 years ago till, you know, today.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, the higher the level you go, it just gets more intense. You know, like I said, like it's a business. You know, treat it like it's a business, man. If you really want to go play at the next level or anything like that, anything you're doing, treat it like it's a business. Yeah, you're going to have fun within that business and all that stuff, but don't lose sight of what that goal is, you know, and what your mind and what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I feel like, this might be a little off subject, but it's easy to get recruited nowadays. You know, you can simply go to a camp and jump 40 inches. I feel like coaches don't look at film no more.
No, we played a few players like that. They were 4/5 stars that had big D1 commits.
We did, yeah, for sure. And I mean, personally, I didn't see it. You probably didn't see it. But what I'm saying is, you see the drive on the field from these kids. You know, this and that. Not taking nothing away from their talent or nothing like that. 'Cause, I mean, any kid should love getting recruited. Definitely.
But I've never seen a great player not work.
Yeah, see, so that's what I'm saying. It's just like, but the kids who actually put in the work, it just shows when they get to that next level. They're playing as true freshmen.
Again, that's all part of the culture that's being built around here. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not only football; it's everywhere.
No, it's every sport. It's every sport's everywhere. You know
they hold every, you know, Matt as athletic director holds every coach accountable, you know, to that same standards. That's why you see it in volleyball. That's why, you know, our softball program, great last few years. Baseball program,
even baseball last year,
great program. Yes, absolutely, massive strides, and they're only getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, golf, cross country. Last year we had a girl, which we'll be getting into more cross country next week on our episode. But we had a girl make it to the state, and Chloe Ross made it to the state meet for the girls. I believe it was the first time for a lady card to make the state cross country meet since, I believe, 99-ish. And first Cardinal athlete in general since probably around like 02, 03. I believe it's Jared Polito.
Yeah.
But, you know, all of our sports are good. But again, winning instills confidence, and everyone sees it. So, I mean, it's been, you know, before this happened here recently, it's been forever since junior high kids were excited to come to games, and the stands were packed.
Yeah.
Before, it's like, we ain't going to watch that. And now it's like, I want to be that.
They want to be there, man. You know, that goes for volleyball, basketball, football. You know, because of the culture, the way it's being built and brought back to the, you know.
And these little kids look up to those kids.
These little kids, man, they're starting to see that, like, man, I can't wait until I get to high school and start doing what these other kids are doing like that. So now it's definitely a good thing. And like I said, man, it's just a culture.
I know when you were younger and you were in school, the program really wasn't winning, so it wasn't the same kind of. But when I grew up, you know, it was mid-90s, you know, before we got into junior high, and that's when we were on our first big run with, you know, Coach Bluto was the coach back with Matt and Aaron and Philip Williams and a couple of other staff members were playing back then or whatever. And I can remember back then they would they'd bring the high school football players to the, you know, elementary schools or St. Anthony's or whatever, and they'd sign their little fake footballs. But those little kids thought that, you know, they just met the greatest celebrity of all time, whatever. Right. And I feel like that culture's coming back now, where you see the young kids seeing, you know, an Adam or a John, or, you know, last year and years before, Tyree or, you know, Jordan Woods, Pitchford. Yeah. You see all, you know, these kids, Keon, Hurd. You see, you know, the little kids see these guys, and that's I'm not saying that's their hero, but I mean they look up to him. They see him
every
Friday night. That's what they want to go see.
Yeah.
They want to see those guys play.
But every
that's
guy,
their pro.
Yeah, every guy that you just named, man, they were the standard.
At their position.
At their position, they set the tone. Anything that coaches asked for them to do, they did at 110%, and they correlated on the field. And that's why they were able to help their team advance as far as they have been doing, And I feel like from just in the past, there hasn't been, probably had a couple, but it wasn't enough to make a team go as far as you wanted to go.
That we had, 2 years of good and then 5 years of et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But now it just seems like, we're on a roll in everything, and that confidence is high. I don't see nothing stopping us.
Columbus sports is back, man. It's back. It's back all the way around. We're winning. We making strides. We get more kids in the athletic program, man. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? The sidelines and the stands, stuff's getting packed. More kids are coming out.
I mean, the amount of people who don't sometimes even have family or, kids playing or whatever, they want to see the show.
They want to see it. Hey, tickets sell, baby. And that's what we're doing, and like I said, man, I'm really looking forward to just everything this year has in store, and keep this train rolling.
I mean, I know we've been going in depth on how successful the program's been over the last few years, not only in football but in volleyball. We do have a decent amount of kids right now from Columbus graduated that are playing in college. We got Colton Pitchford, Tommy Schobel, Hunter Mangum, Jordan Woods, J.J. Hurd, and Keon Hurd. They're all playing college football. And then on the volleyball side, we have Karina Alonso, Gabby Toit, and Amber Adams. Sorry about that. And Amber Adams still playing collegiate volleyball. So we're going to get some more information out here on our podcast and the notes below. We can get y'all so y'all can follow those kids if y'all want to and see how they're progressing in their collegiate careers for football and volleyball.
And we will have a few of them. Whoever can make it, we'll have them on the show too. That's our goal, to have them on and get a little interview and just see how their lives are going after being a Cardinal and stuff like that, and just
what's like at the next level and being a grown-up, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out the link below for all your Columbus and Run With It swag.
Thank you all for watching the first episode of
Run With It.